Hey everybody, it's Krampus. This is something new and exciting that I got a chance to, this is the first one here in Canada. The distributor brought it in and he let me take a look at it and give you an honest review on it. So this is the KWA Ronin T6 PDW. Of course, KWA already is known for making high quality products, but in this case, they really had a nice little moment to shine here and they took advantage of it. It has PTS front sight and rear sight that are nice and flip up, so they're nice and steady. It has a nice M-lock rail with a little like Picatinny segment here. Standard M4 magazines will fit in this. It has a PTS grip, which I absolutely love anything PTS. I'm a big fan of their products. The stock is actually really nice. Now there's the battery port which is here, so let me take this right off. And let's open this up. So I really like the fact when you take the wire out, they put a fuse in it. I'm probably going to, when I get one myself, take out the fuse and put in a MOSFET. And they've made a lot of battery room here, which is nice. Most electronic guns, I find that I'm fighting to get my battery in and out of quickly. And this gives me that option to not have to fight so much. When it's in, it's locked nicely in place. There's not a lot of wiggle. Like, you have to really work at it to get some wiggle. So that being said, where this gun has a very unique feature that's above the rest is in the gearbox. Now my tech head technician will actually go into that further into the movie. However, they've designed this gearbox so you can put your favorite kind of MOSFETs in. Your Titans, your Jeftrons. It's supposed to be compatible with a lot of different MOSFETs, so I'm going to leave that to my technician to talk to you. I like the feel, I like the quality. Now things that they've thrown into it. Of course, you get your manual with your sticker from KWA, that's nice. This is the adjustment tool. Now the technician will go into a little later in the video on how to use this to turn up and down your FPS. I like that. So now this gun has outdoor limits as well as indoor limits, so you're getting twice the gun in a similar package. Extra M-lock rails also in here. Now this is kind of nice as well. Of course, you get your standard KWA mag, but this is an aluminum milled out orange flash hider. And then everybody kind of goes, it's orange. For a Canadian, from a Canadian's perspective, this is very important if I want to go to a US game and I'm crossing the border. So I really like the fact that they've included an orange tip. So when I cross the border, I can put on my orange tip, show them that I've bought it here legally, and do things correctly. Once I'm over in the States and at the game, and depending on what state I'm in, then I will switch out the flash hider. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy. I look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great one. It's time for the boring part.
Alrighty, so guys, this is the new KWA VM4. Just to show that it works, this has already been cleared and everything's safe. Semi-auto. And full auto. Let's go over the externals a bit. Takes a PEC box style battery. I do have a nunchuck in here right now, but it doesn't fit all the way, and the cap does go in flush, so this won't work for this gun, unfortunately. For anybody wondering, I'm just using a basic 11-1 LiPo 20C output. This is the battery cap for the end of the gun. Just clicks in really nice, and then of course retractable stock. Some interesting keys about the gun is it apparently has a true quick FPS changer. It does come with this tool, which we'll check out and make sure it actually functions. The other cool thing about this is apparently it's one of the first KWAs to actually be able to accept aftermarket MOSFETs like a Leviathan from Jeftron, a Gate Titan, or a BTC Spectre. So all that said, it does come with PTS flip-up sights. Enhanced charging handle, ambidextrous selector, and a PTS pistol grip. So I'm sure Aaron will take care of the rest, Krampus, and let's get into the internals of it. Upper barrel. So let's check over the barrel for a sec. Looks like a standard brass, very shiny. Standard KWA bucking. Looks like their standard hop-up unit as well. If it's using this type of a hop-up window, it will probably be proprietary to this hop-up then. Most KWAs, yeah. So because of the way this hop-up is designed, most aftermarket hop-ups have a higher window up here, making this higher, which will not fit into a KWA because they make their barrel assemblies, outer barrel assemblies, shorter, so it won't work. So one little con there, but still very nice barrel assembly. I haven't really seen many of these break, which is really nice. They're just good overall hop-up units. Very good for R hops and such. No issues there. It's a nice barrel assembly. Alrighty. Where to start? That's how you take it off. Just in case any of you didn't really see, you simply, this part of the fin sits underneath the screw here, you just slide it out, pop it off, and then this you just pull out, pop up, undo the spring, pop it off and slide it out quite easily. It's a very easy system. And then we have the upper of the gearbox. I'm gonna need some smaller Allen keys to get this all the way apart. Yay. Alright, let's get the pistol grip off. So I'm back with a couple smaller Allen keys. We're gonna need them. Alrighty, so took the base cap off. Just so everybody does know, if you haven't already dealt with a PTS grip, this screw and the screw in the back are two different Allen keys, so do keep aware of that. The one in the back can be a bit more difficult. So let's get the motor out. Standard KWA, high torque. I do believe it runs off of ferrous magnets, which aren't the strongest. Looks like a 16, 18 TPA armature. The one thing I do like from the KWA motors is they put this little diode onto it to protect the armature from burning out. I have one of these on my guns and I love it. It doesn't interfere with any MOSFETs, which is a nice thing. It just goes on to your motor and protects the armature from getting burnt out. This gives you a little bit more longevity out of the motor, which is very nice. Let's take the stock off. Some of it will be going between on-screen and off-screen, just because it can be a pain in the butt disassembling a gun. There we go. And that's the stock off. So, took the stock off, spring, go with the stock, and this is the new spring change system apparently. So, it is a quick change. There's the spring. Super easy. I wonder what that stupid little tool is for. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So for spring adjustment, take the back of the stock off. Your spring guide sits in here like such, and then here, I'll show it outside. Will sit inside of here. To adjust the FPS, going from full length to reduced FPS, just take this little nifty tool, put it down and loosen it off, and then we'll go from there to there, decreasing your FPS. Super cool, means you don't have to buy another spring, even though if you want to, you can just do a quick change spring and done. Super cool. Rather like that idea, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Quite nice. So, spring and spring guide. There is a screw at the back holding on the sling mount, so don't forget that one. There's the middle pin all the way out. And let's get the back pin. Now one last thing, if you need to take this off. So to do it, you gotta pull the wiring down. Slowly start unscrewing it. Make sure you don't catch the wiring, guys and girls, or else you're going to be looking at spending more money than you need on a new wiring harness. But for some of you, you might like that because you can change it out for electronic trigger mechanism. Go. And there's the back of the gearbox and everything. Let's pop it out. There's the body. Now I do like the way they have the selectors done. If you can see inside, it's a little bar at the bottom with two gears going up to the opposite selectors. Quite nice. Like that a lot. Now the nice thing with the KWA system is sorry, you don't need to take the mag release off. Okay? And you don't need to take the selectors off. So I did initially undo some of the screws to make sure I didn't need to, which means I didn't really need to, so I wasted a little bit of time there. It's kind of nice that way. Be careful though, this bolt release does come out, so keep an eye on that. And yeah. Here's the fire selector. Oh, it's so nice actually. So I like the new selector. I remember the old KWAs where they were brittle, weren't that great. Feels a lot nicer. The teeth are actually really nice compared to like a VFC Scar gear. It's just, this feels a lot nicer. Now, big thing, you gotta take out the tappet plate spring. To do that, take the selector off, undo this little spring here, make sure it doesn't go flying off on you. undo the screw here. Make sure you have some sort of pressure on it though. It can fly out. And then just slowly pry it up. Make sure you keep pressure on it though. And then take this big long spring out, and there's no more pressure on the tappet plates. Alright, let's get it out of the gearbox now. Now these are all hex keys, but you can use a star or a hex. These are hex keys. You can use a star, a flathead, because the grooves are big enough, but I do recommend using a proper hex. As always, make sure you don't lose any of the screws. Now, some people like it, some people don't. But KWA uses coursed threads on their screws. I don't mind it. I find that if you tighten it up too tight, you can strip it up. So, something to just be wary of. Don't tighten them super tight. It'll strip. Now, if the audio isn't good on this video, I do apologize. We have a lot of fans going in the shop right now, because it's very hot outside. For any of those who are watching, they do also come with a washer, which is what I've been slowly picking up with every screw. Let's give it a little bit of a pop. And that gear didn't want to go with it, but might be able just to give it a nice little. Yeah, that works. So it looks like it's using 9mm bearings, which are pretty good. Sorry, that was my phone. 9mm are very sturdy, which is the nice thing about them. So let's lift up the air compression tray. Polymer piston. Last tooth is metal. Non-ported piston head, which is aluminum. So, kind of a con there, but they've always done that. That's interesting. Don't know how I feel about that. So, tappet plate has the built-in nozzle. Oh, maybe not. Might not be built-in. Nope, not built-in. Okay. That is still super nifty. I like that. So it does come with an O-ringed air nozzle. And to take the O-ring in and out, almost lost it. You just slide it out of the tappet plate, which is actually proprietarily cut for the air nozzle. But it does look like you can use an aftermarket nozzle, so I do like that. That is really nifty. So the tappet plate is still proprietary because it doesn't use a standard tappet plate return spring, which would normally sit here and actually come to a bar up here. It uses one down here. Not a bad thing. I rarely have seen these break. They're really strong. Usually it will break somewhere around here, and that's handling the pressure pretty good. Cylinder and cylinder head. Cylinder head, just plastic, and a brass cylinder. Some odd reason KWA has always done their porting really far down at the end. For this gun, it's not that bad. They could use the porting a little bit further, but once again, not bad. Let's see what the air compression's like. Not the greatest. but with this bad of air compression, I'm still surprised it's that good of an FPS. That's primarily to do with a non-ported piston head. You can swap that out for anyone, and you'll get better efficiency and FPS out of it. So just a quick little upgrade there you can do. Gears. I've always liked KWA gears. They're super strong, really good. Their bevel gears are a bit weird, but I do like them. They are good. And everything looks really nicely shimmed and everything. Let's take a look. Let's see if it's really everything that they said it was going to be. Well, it does kind of look like it can take a aftermarket trigger mechanism. It's clearly their cutoff lever system is new and proprietary, but that won't matter because if you go with any electronic trigger mechanism, it's not applicable. You usually take them out anyways. That's pretty cool though. And let's look at the wiring harness. So it's similar, but I wouldn't say full spec. So what I'm thinking is if you want to keep with just basic trigger contacts, you will have to go with KWA trigger contacts. But if you want to switch to electronic trigger mechanism, it does look like you can do it. So there's a nice little pro for you guys. They have changed up their gearbox a bit. Kind of nice. So everything's back in and nice. And that's pretty much the entire gearbox, guys. I'll throw it back together and we'll fiddle around with the FPS changing spring guide. Talk to you guys soon. Save. Semi. Pull up. Alrighty guys, this is the new KWA. Got an 11-1 LiPo battery, provided mag, chronoing on a 0.25 gram BB. Let's see what it comes in at. Let's try some full auto. Not bad.